On the second day of Christmas, the Beatles gave to me 2 harmonica players and a young man called Jeff Lee. The 2 harmonica players, these are the important people in John's life. Julia Baird, John's half-sister, remembers that the first harmonica John played on was given to him by his Uncle George, Mimi's husband. Now, Uncle George was really close to John. He was like the father figure in John's young life. He's the guy who wired the speaker into John's bedroom so he could listen to Radio Luxembourg. So he's a very important person in John's life. He gave him this harmonica. But of course, John couldn't play it. Now, Julia, John's mum, very important person in John's life, particularly musically in those teenage years. She had a neighbour 2 doors up called Arthur Pendleton. Now, if you haven't read my book, The Fab 104, The Evolution of the Beatles, you won't have heard of him. But Arthur, very important. He was a great harmonica player, and he took a harmonica with him wherever he went. So John was sent by Julia 2 doors up in Blomfield Road to see Arthur Pendleton, and Arthur is the guy who gave John harmonica lessons. How important was that in the story of the Beatles? Think of what really grabbed George Martin at the Parlophone audition. John's harmonica. How important was that harmonica? Well, their first single, Love Me Do, that was the hook. That's what got people, was the harmonica playing there. So thanks to Uncle George giving him a harmonica and Arthur Pendleton for teaching him how to play it, John makes that harmonica a dominant sound in the very first records that the Beatles released. So on the second day of Christmas, the Beatles gave to me 2 harmonica players and that young man called Jeff Lee. Tune in tomorrow for the 3rd day of Christmas.